He's pretty mentally weak in the ring. You know, as soon as things don't start going his way,
Yeah.
he starts to crumble, and things aren't going to go his way. So I think he's going to crumble.
Yeah.
Jake Paul reacted with surprise as Gervonta Davis's intense sparring clips went viral. He admitted that the criticism and doubt from others actually fuel his excitement, making every fight even more thrilling. Jake emphasized that he's been training relentlessly and staying laser-focused. With confidence, he declared that he's wanted to face Tank for a long time, and now that it's finally happening, he genuinely believes he can beat him.
Say the other person's gonna win. I like it.
So when
it makes it fun.
When he lay your boy out, you know what I mean?
He's my boy too. I love Mike.
I mean, Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing exactly.
Showbiz the adult reacts strongly to the claims made by critics who think Gervonta Davis accepted the fight with Jake Paul purely for money. He points out that the situation is much more layered than people assume. Jake himself mentioned that the fight contract includes a special knockout bonus which changes the entire motivation behind this bout. If a huge bonus is attached to the knockout, it means Tank will go all out and never risk being the one on the canvas. The fight becomes more than just about pride. It becomes a contest with both money and legacy on the line. Showeyes explains that people are missing the psychological part of it. Tank is a prideful fighter and the idea of getting knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer is unthinkable to him. So when critics call it a payday grab, they ignore the fact that there's a competitive fire behind it. He believes Tank's reputation means more to him than any check. And Jake's comments about the knockout bonus might have only made the fight more personal and intense.
You guys told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're going to get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million.
Let's make it 2.
Y'all gonna shake on it?
Yeah.
Shake on it?
Jake, $1
Shake on
million.
it?
2 mil?
2 mil?
2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil. Go get a shake.
Oh, they're shaking Lefty.
2 mil.
There we go.
Oh my fuck.
Why not get the entire bag? Whenever I got good food on my plate, I clean the plate. There is no reason to boil y'all. Hold on. Because I'm going to play some Marvel Rivals. Let me get all this together. I'm going to be playing some Marvel Rivals later. Hold on. Let me get my blind. Sure, because no cream. And yes, no cream. Because I'm fired up today. I got on the scale today and I'm 209 pounds. Okay, you guys know that I'm on the fitness journey. I'm showing you guys my video journal. And I started at 217 pounds where I started all this 12 days ago. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing faint abs. Hold on, the faint abs. Woo! The faint abs! The faint abs! The faint abs! I'm telling you, it'll be back. I will be back. I want my Terminator shit. And when I'm done, I'm going to tell you guys my secret and exactly how I did it. I'm talking about step by step, everything. I'm going to be in great shape like I was. When I turned 45 and all the gray in the beard, I was just like, it ain't over, bro. It ain't over. Hold on. Let me. Ooh. Dr. Doom. Okay. All right. But listen, a lot of you guys calling this a fake fight and all this shit. I'm going to quote one of you in the war room. I forgot, one of my show business partners said, was it Justin Hill? I forgot who it was. You guys said, you said something like, and if I misquote you, I'm sorry, but it was dope. You said something like, if this is a fake fight, it definitely has real consequences. I keep telling you guys, man, if it goes on their real record or not, whatever it is, you know what you saw. It's just like Ryan Garcia versus Devin the American Dream Haney. Devin Haney is still undefeated, but we know what we saw. You cannot erase what we saw. If Jake Paul knocks out Tank Davis, there's some real circumstances. The shit goes viral, and I'm going to lose $10,000. Jake Paul isn't just going to win in this exhibition, but he's also going to get a knockout bonus and an extra $2 million.
Robert Garcia looked at the situation from a veteran's perspective. He admitted that, technically, there's nothing wrong with Gervonta "Tank" Davis choosing to fight Jake Paul. It's his career, his call. But Garcia emphasized that the timing feels off. He explained that fighters like Mayweather, Tyson, and Pacquiao only stepped into exhibition-style matches after building undeniable legacies filled with world titles and history-making victories. Tank, he said, simply hasn't reached that stage yet. Garcia believes Tank still owes the fans those defining fights, the kind that carve a boxer's name into history and silence every critic. To him, the issue isn't the fight itself, but what it symbolizes. Instead of chasing legacy-defining showdowns with top names like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, Tank has chosen an exhibition-style spectacle with Jake Paul. To Garcia, that feels like skipping a crucial chapter in his story. He insists that Tank has all the talent to earn genuine respect through legacy-building battles. But chasing shortcuts and headline-grabbing events could end up damaging that reputation. In Garcia's eyes, this fight comes too soon, a flashy distraction when it should have been another step toward greatness.
Contest before something like that, but I don't know, what's your just take on the whole thing?
I'm not very interested in it. That doesn't excite me. I know it's going to do really good numbers. I know they're making a lot of money, which is good for them, good for Tank, because in boxing, that's what everybody looks for. I think it's, the good thing is they announced it as an exhibition, which is, I'm okay with it. Everybody does it. Mayweather has done it. Ali did it. The only thing, my personal opinion is Tank, they all did it when they had already accomplished so much. They already did so much. Mayweather did everything in boxing and accomplished everything. Muhammad Ali did the same, and many others that have done it. I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted, never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Roach that rematch, which he should have. Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat him clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked, I would do the same.
No one would say no to that, right?
If I had one of my fighters get an offer to fight a big celebrity, a big YouTuber for $20-30 million, I would probably do the same. So I don't blame him. It's boxing. At the end of his career, 20 years from now, nobody's gonna care how many.
Bernie, THA boxer, didn't hold back when giving his opinion. He openly mocked those celebrating Gervonta "Tank" Davis for making money, calling them out for missing the real point. Tank isn't broke, he's already one of the highest-paid fighters of his generation. Fans, Bernie argued, aren't concerned with his bank account. They care about competition. True boxing fans crave excitement, skill, and unforgettable rivalries, not a fighter's payday. He pointed out that the real storyline lies in the actual sport, especially if Lamont Roach manages to defeat Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz. That outcome would shake things up because Pitbull is widely seen as Tank's toughest opponent. If Roach beats him, it would raise serious questions about Tank's performances and the current hierarchy in boxing. Bernie stressed that for Tank to stay respected, he needs meaningful fights, not flashy exhibitions. Money fights like the one with Jake Paul might boost his wallet, but they do nothing for his legacy. And in the eyes of true boxing fans, legacy, not luxury, is what truly counts.
With Tank, and it's I kind of don't really care about the fight no more. Starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? Don't you think that people would want to see, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
No, I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. They don't want to leave it unfinished. And that's what the intrigue is. They want people want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight. And it doesn't make no sense why they taking so fucking fight, Everybody keeps saying that, Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money? Is we bidding out for the fucking money? Is he gonna give us some of the money? Are we waiting on him to feed us any bit? No. I want what I want. Fuck that. I'm selfish. I'm a fan. I want to see the fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking circus. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody saying, oh, he back, who gives a fuck? I hope he do get. He already rich as fuck. He already won 30 million in the last fight or something. He got more money than I'm ever gonna have. I don't give a fuck. I want to see the fights. I'm a fucking boxing fan. I want to see a fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking farce. Fuck. Motherfucker count another motherfucker pockets. They all getting paid. These motherfuckers getting paid millions. Boy, we making how much? 60,000, 40,000 every motherfucking day. Going to work 9 hours a day and shit, and then coming home waiting on income tax and shit like that to get some big bread. Come on.
Lamont Roach addressed the Jake Paul fight controversy with a calm but firm tone. He made it clear that he doesn't have a problem with Gervonta "Tank" Davis taking the fight itself. After all, any fighter would be tempted by such a massive opportunity. But what he does take issue with is how it happened. Roach revealed that his own contract with Tank included a rematch clause, yet Tank went completely silent and instead signed to fight Jake Paul without any communication. To Roach, that's a serious breach of business ethics and respect between fighters. He admitted that in Tank's position, he might have made the same decision, but only if it had been handled professionally. What frustrates him isn't the fight, it's the lack of transparency. Boxing, he said, is supposed to be built on mutual respect, and when a fighter skips obligations just to chase a spectacle, it undermines that foundation. Roach believes this move may benefit Tank financially, but it leaves a bad taste for those who still value fairness and honor in the sport. In his eyes, it was a missed opportunity to do things the right way.
Made right for not executing that rematch. Is it safe to say that there was some money given to you because of that?
Money given to me, not necessarily, but okay. You know, like I said, those guys took good care of me. Those guys on the other side took care of me. Not him personally and not his team personally, right. But you know.
But somebody made it right for that rematch not happening.
Kinda, you could say that. Yeah.
I understand. I don't understand the position you're in, but from the outside looking in, you had a phenomenal performance against arguably one of the best fighters, you know, top 10 pound for pound fighters in Tank, which many didn't believe it would happen. So you want the opportunity to get back and you know, I guess get the victory. But can you really, honestly, putting yourself in Tank's shoes, be upset with taking advantage of the opportunity to fight Jake Paul? Reportedly, there's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know this to be, you know, accurate, but I'm saying those are the reports, right? If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know that he actually exercised his rights to the rematch, so that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agreed to let you move on or.
Jake Paul defended his upcoming fight by making one thing crystal clear: this isn't an exhibition like Mayweather versus Logan Paul. It's a legitimate, fully sanctioned boxing match with official judges and a declared winner. There's nothing staged or scripted about it. Jake proudly highlighted the knockout bonus, calling it a massive source of motivation for both himself and Gervonta "Tank" Davis. He explained that he thrives in moments when people doubt him, when critics predict his downfall, because that skepticism only pushes him harder. For Jake, this fight isn't about chasing a paycheck, it's about proving himself. He sees it as the biggest moment of his career. The knockout bonus, he said, isn't just about money, it's symbolic. It represents his confidence, his discipline, and his willingness to test everything he's built against one of boxing's most dangerous fighters. Jake insists he's been training harder than ever and fully believes in his ability to win. This time, he's not stepping into the ring just to survive, he's stepping in to prove he belongs among the elite.
I mean, even the list you made years and years ago, Gervonta Davis is on the list.
Yeah, exactly. It's all manifestation, and it's a very powerful thing. And yeah, I think people don't dream big or set massive aspirational goals and then also put the work in. I think that's the other thing, is like, I'm still doing sprints and track work and bench press and squats and all of these things for the sport of boxing. So when I transition to NFL, I'm going to have a lot of that natural explosiveness and power from the past 6 years of training.
Ryan Garcia didn't hold back when giving his opinion. He called Jake Paul's fight a calculated publicity stunt crafted more to keep Jake in the spotlight than to uplift the sport of boxing. Garcia, who has his own history with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, claimed that Tank accepted the fight not out of hunger for competition, but for the paycheck. In Ryan's eyes, true fighters don't chase clout or quick money, they chase *** legacy. He emphasized that real success in boxing isn't measured by headlines or pay-per-view numbers, but by the lasting impact a fighter leaves inside the ring.
Feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah, why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit. That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. LeBron's missing the shot. He's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter. Yeah. And to me, that's just it's tricking the public, and it's kind of bullshit, bro, at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if Gervonta was Jake Paul's size, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. There probably wouldn't even be a...
Sean Porter offered a balanced yet critical take on the situation. He acknowledged that Jake Paul deserves credit for bringing legitimate fighters into the ring, something few outsiders have managed to do, but pointed out that the motivation behind those fights usually comes down to money. According to Porter, most opponents view Jake not as a respected rival, but as a profitable opportunity. That pattern, he noted, has followed Jake since his debut. Porter admitted that Jake's fame is undeniable, but fame and respect are two very different things. He recognized that Jake's progress is real, his skills, conditioning, and discipline have clearly improved, yet he still hasn't earned the deep admiration that only comes from years of battling elite-level fighters. Porter explained that in the boxing world, respect isn't bought through views or paydays, it's earned through legacy, heart, and consistency.
All said and done, and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. That's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it. Yeah. So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost.
Comedian and boxing enthusiast Earthquake shared a humorous yet surprisingly sharp take on Jake Paul's physical disadvantage. He joked that while bigger, more muscular fighters often look terrifying before the bell rings, that intimidation doesn't last long once the punches start flying. The muscles that look impressive at weigh-ins soon become a burden, slowing movement, tiring the arms, and draining stamina. Earthquake warned that this could be Jake's biggest problem when facing Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Jake's larger frame gives him power, but Tank's superior ring IQ and timing could make him miss wildly and waste precious energy. Earthquake reminded fans that big muscles can't save a fighter once fatigue sets in. At that point, technique and patience take over. He predicted that Jake might explode out of the gate, throwing heavy shots early, but as the rounds wear on, Tank's composure, rhythm, and endurance will likely turn the tide. In his words, boxing isn't a bodybuilding contest, it's a brutal test of heart, lungs, and timing.
You're a boxing fan?
Totally.
Okay. Tank Davis and Jake Paul in November. According to betonline.ag, Jake Paul is the underdog at plus 139. Gervonta Davis is the favorite at minus 180. So he's the favorite almost 2-1.
Right.
What do you think will happen in this ring?
I don't know, but Tank should beat him. Tank should beat him, but Tank is smaller. And usually in boxing, you take the bigger man, but then again, Terrence Crawford killed that when he beat Canelo.
They were the same weight.
Yeah, they were
at the time. Well, no, maybe a little bit different after they rehydrated, but they weighed in at the same weight. There's a 30-pound difference between Gervonta and Jake Paul. Jake Paul had to lose like 30 pounds to get down to like 195. And Gervonta, I think, is like 160.
Gervonta all the way up to 160.
Oh, hold on. Gervonta.
160.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. No. 133.8.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he 133.
It's a 60-pound weight difference.
Yes.
60 pounds.
Yes.